How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Papa Powell going on the microphone. Papa Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, people? Why am I stuttering? What is up, people? How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Tuesday. I mean, my goodness, what can we say about these markets? QQQ selling off pretty hard today. S&P 500 joining the basket. Both of them taking off yesterday's lows, giving you wonderful opportunities, but then later on reversing once again, bouncing from the year-to-date anchor VWAP and so on. So lots of fun either way, no matter what. You got AMD flushing to the downside today pretty hard. You got ARM flushed along with it. The semiconductors have always been very much in play, and they're giving you lots of movement right now. So stocks like those are on our watch today. We also got a bunch of stocks with earnings that reported earnings recently, such as Alcoa. Alcoa is also on the watch list for another special reason, which I'll mention in a second. But earnings stocks basically. If I remember correctly, Las Vegas Sands reports today after hours. TSM, another semiconductor stock, reports tomorrow earnings. And there's a stock that I'm trying to remember without cheating, without looking at my watch list. There should be Dr. Hortons. That's right, the shoe company will also be coming out with their not watch list, but their earnings report tomorrow, which we'll be very interested to see what type of opportunities set up. So lots of earnings movers, lots of stocks that already reported earnings that moved around, but we only care about one, because this one stock we were very wrong about today. My goodness, UAL. Last night on stream, I gave my prediction on UAL, and boy was I wrong on that prediction. That stock absolutely took off the runway today to what, like 17% up. So monster move on UAL. We'll put that one on the watch list from the stocks that recently reported earnings. The bank stocks are kind of now just turned off for me. So a small little watch list for tomorrow. But that just means we get to spend more time with the stocks that are actually that we want, the ones that we want to trade tomorrow, such as AMDs, ARMs, TSMs, and so on. So why don't we get started? Why don't I take you guys to the big screen right now, where we can show you what's in store for tomorrow's earnings boards. Let's bring in our earnings board using our good friends at Earnings Whispers. If you haven't checked out their website, go check it out. Amazing website. I just grabbed these screenshots from their Twitter. They post amazing information on their Twitter too. If you don't want to go on their website, you can just follow them on Twitter. That's also a pretty good way to stay up to date. Couple other stocks tomorrow reporting earnings pre-market, but realistically, I only care about TSM and DHI. I do have good memory of trading DHI in the past, so I will be looking forward to seeing if DHI gives me more opportunities. Alcoa reports earning today after hours, along with Las Vegas Sands. Once again, a bunch of other stocks, most of which we don't care about. Well, Alcoa is a little bit important because President Biden is thinking about tripling Chinese tariffs for imports on steel and aluminum, or should I say aluminium. So aluminium, however you want to say it. My Britishers, aluminium. My US Canadian, aluminum. So we're waiting to see how those tariffs come into play. AA actually made a pretty decent move to the upside today for some part, and then got sold off later on. So we're waiting to see if the earnings had to do something to do with that move that came into the stock today. Maybe people knew that the earnings wasn't going to be so hot, so they were selling the stock already into any sort of pumps into the position. And maybe Alcoa doesn't actually generate or you know, manufacture or export enough aluminum or import enough aluminum for China and USA and so on. So the stock really might not be in play today, but it might be in play tomorrow. The whole tariffs might not have actually helped the stock out today, but tomorrow, based on how the stock moved on earnings tonight, we'll get to see if there's a play. So we'll talk about Alcoa and we'll talk about Las Vegas Sands. A lot of stocks already reported earnings, but UAL wins the cake over here because that stock, boy oh boy was I wrong on this one. UAL monster move into $49.14. Now we do have a couple areas mapped out. We were looking for that 46.50 area. If you guys remember the watch list from yesterday, we were looking for that 46.50 area to come into some resistance. I did not expect anything higher than 46.50. $49, Prad, up 17% on the day. Monster move on UAL. Look, the company still loses money. They don't make positive earnings per share. They reported negative earnings per share. But overall, they are growing, right? After the whole COVID situation and all that craziness, they are growing. Their cost per seat mile and their cost per seat mile and blah 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 numbers were all pretty good. They were all even, pretty much canceling each other out. The company's growing, the company's bringing in more money, everything was looking good. So it looks like a little bit of a missed opportunity here today because, you know, we were looking for that 45 breakout and long to the upside. I was advised to not look for that 45 breakout, so I stayed away from it. But I was looking for a pullback into 45, but the stock never really pulled back into 45 off the open. Actually, it runs into 45, pulls back from 45 into $44, bounces off of the VWAP, and then runs much higher through that level. That could have been an opportunity to maybe take the breakout there, or maybe you could have taken the opening range 5-minute high or something. Overall, pretty big missed opportunity on UAL today, and nor did I expect the stock to really do what it did. Like we said, 46.50 right into 46.60. It ends up being the high of the first move. It consolidates a little bit, bounces off of today's VWAP into a whole nother gigantic move to the upside. Insane. Just lost for words for the stock over here on UAL. But we'll see if any opportunities show up for the stock tomorrow for us, because it is on our watch list. So this is our watch list for tomorrow. As I mentioned, Alcoa, LVS, TSM, DHI, and we'll put UAL as the earnings basket stocks. DXYZ, DJT, probably could take Reddit out of my watch list at this point. Not really trading it as much as I would have thought that I would, or how much I thought that I would trade that position. It's just not doing as much liquidity since it did from the IPO. So it looks like a little bit of a demand dying down in the stock, just waiting to see what it wants to do. So not really any important over there. But this sector, the cryptocurrency sector, very important. Cryptocurrency is actually getting under, or should I say Bitcoin, getting under 60K today after a really long time, slightly peaking under 60K into 59,000 and 59,600 or so, and bouncing basically off of one of the support lines that we have drawn out right from here. So one of the support lines that we have drawn out, bouncing off of that area pretty cleanly at the moment, looking like we want to continue to hold that 60K area on Bitcoin. So if that's the case, Coinbase, which is going down, could look for a reversal on that. If Bitcoin won't go below 60K, we could look for a nice little reversal on Coinbase, nice little reversal on IBIT. Our office actually had a beautiful short on IBIT today. That was a monster trade to the downside. You could have possibly capitalized on something like this every time Bitcoin moves to the downside drastically, like the way it did today, getting under 60K, breaking under a big level, a big psychological level that people will be possibly thinking about. So IBIT was a good opportunity, and that's why we always have those Bitcoin currencies, cryptocurrency stocks on our watch list, just in case something happens over there. We want to be ready for it. We talked about AMD and ARM briefly. Those two positions really got stuffed to the downside today. I'm guessing AMD got stuffed because of ARM, but because the overall market got stuffed and took out yesterday's low, QQQ took out yesterday's low, S&P 500 took out yesterday's low. So I'm almost, you know, thinking like we're getting ready for a big downside move over here. But with how big of a downside move ARM and AMD have had today, there could be a little bit of a bounce opportunity. So looking for both opportunities at the end of the day, looking to see a continuation trade more to the downside if there's bigger sellers and harder sellers on both of these positions or on the overall market, and waiting to see if they get relieved a little bit. You know, maybe some shorts start covering their profits and these stocks start getting relieved a little bit for us to join the long. So whatever directions the opportunities come in, we want to be ready for both, and that's why the stocks are on the watch list, and we'll dive deeper into the charts a little bit. Right now, you see the stocks that are colored in orange are basically the large cap ETFs and the semiconductor stocks, the one that announces ETF, the two that moved by themselves. We'll find out if AL, LVS, and DHI are important to us at all or not based on how they reported today after hours. So why don't we get started with the charting? Before we do that though, we need to bring in our good friends over at Benzinga. Go check them out. The link's down in the description. Amazing tool that can help you with staying up to date on the news right as it comes out. Benzinga just populates it. They also have an amazing scanner. Let me bring in the screen. They also have amazing scanners and signals, charting abilities, calendars like economic calendar and so on, earnings calendars and so on. So you could kind of really filter, set up the screen the way you want to, and have it personalized just for you. But I love it. I use it for earnings and I use it for news. We're gonna go find out about what was the first stock on my list over there. Alcoa. Alcoa climbs on Q1 results. Okay, I like that. You're kind of ruining the fun for me by already telling me what the stock is doing. But hey, I get it. I get it. Who's in the chat today? TH. I almost forgot to say hello to people in the beautiful chat. TH, Dieter, Doom, Ani. Am I missing anybody? That's the only 4 people that I see messaging so far. How you guys doing, people? Hopefully you guys had a wonderful day. I know Ani doesn't trade, but hopefully, Ani, you had a wonderful, almost a Tuesday, wonderful Wednesday. Didn't really trade today, says Dieter. Yeah, I mean, me neither. I just kind of sat there. Didn't do much. I had a short on ARM, but I didn't trade it well, and that kind of, you know, tilted me a little bit, so I just didn't want to do much. Blind Jedi's in the house. What's up, Blondo? Alcoa makes the best aluminum wheels for heavy trucks and buses. Very pimp. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me. The chat is working very well so far. Knock on wood. Yesterday's last hour was so weird. Resources exhausted. I think, yeah, YouTube got absolutely beat up yesterday in the last 1 hour of my stream. Not sure what happened, but I noticed that lag was happening across the board. Even Think with Bookmap stream was lagging, so that was pretty weird. I was hoping that it was not just me, because I thought I was getting banned or taken offline or something. So I'm glad it wasn't just me and it was YouTube wide. LFG chair, DJ chair. DJ chair? Chair's playing DJ music? It's Dieter playing DJ music. LFG, DJ Dieter. Ani, hello there, darling. Whoa. That's weird. Why are you calling her darling and putting butterflies and so on? Oh wait, that's her name. The butterfly probably shows up when her name shows up. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. All right. Coming back to Alcoa, let's take a look at their earnings report. Alcoa reported its first quarter financial results after the bell Wednesday. Here are the details. Alcoa reported quarterly loss of 81 cents per share. Quarterly revenue came in at 2.6 billion, beating the analyst estimates of 2.56 billion. The company set third party revenue increased 6% in the alumina segment due to the higher average realized third-party price for alumina and higher shipments. The aluminum segment third-party revenue decreased 3% due to lower average realized third-party price for aluminum, driven by the unfavorable sequential impact of the Alumar. What are all these words? What is that, a metal? Alumar smelter restart hedge program, which ended in December 2023, and the timing of shipments. The company reported that alumina production decreased by 4%, subsequently by 2.6 million metric tons, or lower production from Australian refineries. Alcoa produced 542,000 metric tons of aluminum, consistent with its fourth quarter output. Also said third-party shipments of alumina increased 6% sequentially, primarily due to increased trading aluminum. Total shipments, these words are fucking tripping me out. Decreased 1%. In the first quarter 2024, we finalized the terms of our acquisition of Alumina. Oh, is that a company's name? Okay, Alumina Limited, which will bring strategic, operational, and financial flexibility, says Alcoa CEO. Raw material prices and markets are improving, and we are implementing near-term improvements for the future of Alcoa. Alcoa sees full year production between 9.8 and 10 million metric tons for the full year, and shipments between 12.7 million and 12.9 million metric tons. So overall, everything's looking good. Not really sure if these production numbers are higher than before or lower than before. I don't really know the numbers over there. It would be nice to know that. But overall, so far the numbers are not really the greatest. I mean, you had an increase by 6% over there, a 4% decrease, a 3% decrease, a 6% increase, a 1% decrease. So numbers are basically all over the place. They're not like, you know, home run out of the ballpark type of earnings over here based on what we're reading, and nor did they actually, well, maybe they did beat EPS. Nope, doesn't look like they beat EPS. They actually missed on EPS. They were estimated to come out with 64-cent loss, and they came out with 81-cent loss, and they lost wider than expected, but they made more money than expected. So kind of whatever overall. Little bit of a pop over here on Alcoa. I'm guessing this is almost a nothing burger trade right now. And based on how the stock traded today, based on the tariff news, based on you know, all the other catalysts that Alcoa has, and even the earnings news that just came out in the after hours, all we saw was this little pop over here. And today, after the little nice little gap up, it basically got sold off and pushed right back into last week's low. So there are a couple trade ideas over here. I was going to write off this stock as a no trade tomorrow, but there are a couple trade ideas over here. But it really depends on what the stock is doing in pre-market. I would love to see, based on what we just saw in the report, a pullback into this area, somewhere into today's low, somewhere into last week's low, and not be able to hold this area. Either through the open, we get to take the break out of that, or the stock opens under here, pulls back into this area, and rejects that area for us to get short into. So looking for somewhat of a break of this area. And if we're wrong about the earnings report and the way the stock traded today off the whole tariff news, if I'm wrong on about that idea too, then I'm looking for a hold of this area, and I want to see buyers stepping up. I want to see them fighting for the price and bidding up higher and higher. You'll see that when the stock is making a higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. That doesn't happen by magic. It happens by buyers being aggressive, and they're willing to pay the higher price because they think the fair value for the stock is much higher than where it originally is. So I want to see that action happen right into this area before I even think about getting long. So if we can firmly hold 35 tomorrow on Alcoa, which should be support based on how we're trading today, should be support. But if it doesn't, then Alcoa is almost not a trade for me to the long at all. It's a trade to the downside if it doesn't hold 35. So that's an opportunity over there that I'll be very, very looking forward for. Quickly need to grab ATRs for all the stocks that I have in my watch list. Forgot to do that today. So let me just kind of put that one right there. Bang, bang, bang. Always good to have tools like this at your disposal. You know, If you don't know how to make tools like this, ask ChatGPT. You can see how I have a ChatGPT tab open right there, and it's the third tab open for me. That's how important that tab is. It's always there handy. Anytime I need a question, I go right to ChatGPT, even though I think it sucks. Absolute donkey. No, it doesn't. It's decent. But there's better AI out there that's probably just locked up and we can't use it. Overall, though, you know, make tools like this that can help you automate it. Instead of sitting there going to each stock through Finviz, or I don't know, maybe you would use tools like Trade Ideas, a tool that I actually use for trading during day trading at my work computer. Go through each stock and finding the stock's ATR, and then grabbing the ATR for each stock and putting it in there. It takes a little bit of time. Automate stuff like this for yourself, where you can, you know, just put in a ticker name. You know, maybe I'll put in, give me a ticker name over here. I'll put in weed.to. Okay, fine. CGC. Bang. $1.17. So help yourself by creating tools that can help you do things faster. Right? Coming back to Alcoa, looking for that 35 area. Really, I don't think the stock should go into this area, but I've been wrong. I was very wrong about UAL today. So if we do go into this area, the first thing I'll be looking for is a rejection of this area for a sell-off opportunity. But if we can clearly get above this area, then Alcoa's earnings report is really loved by the market, and it might just get boosted behind the whole tariff and all that other catalyst looming behind it. So waiting to see how Alcoa sets up for tomorrow right off this 35. The next stock that reported earnings, Las Vegas Sands. Las Vegas Sands, casino stock. We all basically love casinos. If you're a trader, you love casinos. I don't know a single trader who doesn't love casinos at this point, right? All traders love casinos. And if you love casinos, then you know Las Vegas Sands. Las Vegas Sands a pretty big component. Not too long ago, they were all-time highs. What happened? They got smoked. Maybe I'm thinking of a different... not Las Vegas Sands. Maybe I'm thinking of MGM? No, I'm not thinking of MGM. One of these companies were at like all-time highs, if I remember correctly. Either way, Las Vegas Sands reporting earnings today after hours. Let's go check it out using our good friends over at Benzinga. Use the link down below in the description. All right. Quarterly sales clocked in at 2.96 billion, beat the analyst estimates of 2.9 billion, and is a 39% increase year over year. People love to gamble, boy. Increase over 2.12 billion from the same quarter last year. Wow. Las Vegas Sands noted its strong results reflect strong growth in Singapore and Macau. The company reported unrestricted cash balances as of March 31 were 4.96 billion, and it has 4.43 billion for borrowing under its revolving credit facilities. We are pleased with our financial and operating results for the quarter, which reflect strong growth in both Macau and Singapore. We remain deeply enthusiastic about our opportunities to deliver industry-leading growth in both markets in the years ahead as we execute our substantial capital investment programs in both Macau and Singapore. No outlook, sadly, but overall looks like the company did beat on the EPS and on the revenue. EPS coming in at 75 cents per share, which beat the analyst estimates of 62 cents per share, representing 167.86% increase from the same period last year. 167, let's just say 168% increase on EPS from same period last year, and 40% increase on revenue from same period last year. That looks pretty good to me, but overall, looks like the stock did not do so well on that report. Don't really see a forward guidance. Wow, what the hell is that? Don't really see a forward guidance on the stock, sadly. So we don't know what the forecast is. And so far, it looks like the stock got absolutely sold off on that report. Not looking good. The report looked good, but the chart not looking good at all. And more downside may be imminent. However, you know, this chart is not really that exciting to me. This chart's not really that exciting. I guess we did break this little low over here. We got under... not the last earnings view up, but the earnings view up before that, the one from October 2023. So There could be a lot of room to the downside over here if that report wasn't really loved. All the numbers were good from what we saw. The numbers were amazing, but maybe they were just talking about Macau and Singapore and nothing else besides Macau and Singapore. So maybe the market didn't like that, right? So maybe the market didn't like that. So a little bit of a sell-off action over here on LVS. We did get all the way into $48.25, but let me quickly go back to the 1-year chart. Let's go to 60-minute chart, turn off extended trading hours real quick. And I want to put some lines down. No, not the type of lines you're thinking about, chat. Not the type of lines you're thinking about, although those lines are fun. Ooh. A good little consolidation to take the breakout on, whatever day that was. All right, let's go back to the 5-minute chart, turn back on extended trading hours. Wow, we're actually at the lower line there. Damn, right? We went a little bit lower than that. The stock did find a lot of buying every time we go down there. You can see that by the wick action. We go down, we got bought right back up. We go down, we bought right back up. And we're kind of settling around this 49 area. It looks like this 49 area will be pivotal tomorrow. It will either decide we'll go right back into today's low, or will it decide if it wants to keep flushing off that report. This report wasn't as bad as what we're watching on the action over here on LVS, so I'm a little surprised. I'm a little shocked and not really sure what type of trade I even want to look for over here, but at the moment, based on what we're watching, this little stock, okay, that looks like a triple bottom on the daily chart right before the earnings report where it blasts off from. So nice little triple bottom, and we're kind of just playing with that area right now, the $47.50, $48. So we're not that far from it. Could find some buyers there. Not really sure how I want to set up with this trade at the moment, so I'm going to leave it empty in my notes. We might have to come back to this stock in the pre-market tomorrow just to see what type of levels are forming, what type of opportunities are coming in. I technically think the stock gets bought up in pre-market and makes a beautiful run back to today's low and kind of looks to maybe reclaim today's low and kind of trade between today's range, because that report does not look that bad at all. That report does not look bad. So not sure why the market hated it. Maybe because Doom hates casinos. He shorted the shit out of it. Who knows? Who knows? Very good information, Pratt. Thanks for helping the trading community. I'm not sure what that information was, but I'm glad it helped. Or maybe you're just trolling me because that's what you love to do, you fucking troll. Cucumber candle right now on futures. Micro cucumber. What the hell does that even mean, dog? Cucumber candle? What the fuck is that? I'm just trying to understand what a cucumber candle is right now. I'm trying to wrap my head around every single way as to what a cucumber candle is. It's a pro term from my realm. Cucumber. Not a pro term in any realm. It's a degen term. And it makes sense because you are a degen. An absolute degen of the highest form. What the fuck? Not many buyers in the market today. And you called it, TH. Why are you surprised? You called it. You told everybody it's gonna be doomsday, ladies and gentlemen, doomsday. And you were not wrong. Not shorting BS stong, sorry. I'm not asking you to do anything, bro. I'm not asking you to do anything. Just enjoy. Enjoy the show. You know, have some fun. Eat some popcorn. We're just talking stonks. I'm just telling you what I might do tomorrow. I'm not telling you what to do tomorrow. I'm just telling you what I might do tomorrow. This whole stream is only for one purpose. And the purpose is to keep me accountable and make sure that I do this work that I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm just going to go play video games. I'm just going to go play video games and, you know, waste my time. So this stream is only one thing and one thing only. Holding me accountable so I do my work, do my homework, spend at least 1 hour off of work, actually getting some levels, creating a plan, creating a system, instead of just going into work and just winging it right off the open, right off 9 o'clock, which is what I did for 3 years. I don't know how it worked for the last 3 years. I don't know how I made a single dollar, but I did make some dollars, which was fun, which was great. But you know, this had to change. So this whole stream was just for one purpose. So you're just basically using this. This is my journal. This stream is my journal. You guys get to watch basically my prep process. You guys get to see how a professional day trader at a real prop office gets to prep, and you get to possibly emulate that for yourself if you want to. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm not forcing you guys to do anything. So you're basically just using us, Shugos. Make money in your hood is pimp. That's true. Yeah, make money in your lane, dog. Just worry about yourself. Stop worrying about other people. It's not worth it. It's not worth worrying about other people. Life's too short, and it's not worth it. Everyone's gonna die anyways. Just worry about yourself, and you know, do you, and let other people do them. Not saying worry about yourself in a way where you just kind of ignore everybody and just kind of be rude to everybody, dickish to everybody. Just do you, and let everybody else do them. You know, life is just much easier that way. All right, everyone, let's leave. Okay, bye, Ani. Ani's rallying the crowd against me. This is how my own moderators turn against me. I know Blind Jedi won't leave me though, because he's an OG. I know Dieter won't leave me. Well, however, Dieter did leave me last time because he's a rat. He's a fucking rat who snaked me and left me for Ani. So maybe Dieter will leave. Jedi and Buddha are the best. Yes, they are. Buddha is amazing. Buddha's amazing. Jedi's amazing. Ani, she's got a lot of work. She's got a lot of work. Darth Buddha is a cool guy. I haven't talked to him as much, but he's pretty cool. But yeah. All right. Let's get back to the market, ladies and gentlemen. We were at the third stock on the watch list for tomorrow, which is TSM. Team Solomon, for those of you guys know. No, I'm joking. It's Taiwan Semiconductors, very, very important manufacturing company for silicon, for semiconductors and so on. We'll be looking forward to see how they report their earnings report. Maybe they start talking about AI and the stock starts going a little crazy and so on. Today, ARM and AMD, I mentioned this quite a bit to you guys. ARM and AMD got absolutely smoked. 6% down on AMD, ARM down 11 or 12% over here. So pretty much the semiconductor sector very much in play. Nvidia down 4%, pushing into last week's low. If the market continues the way the market is, Nvidia getting under this 830, 820 area opens up a lot of room to the downside. So we're watching all of these levels over here like a hawk, especially if the market gives up where we're currently at. Let me just quickly mark Nvidia as a high priority trade, but go to here, type this, put this to the yearly. So this is year to date, and you can see how, oh wow, QQQ actually broke under the year to date anchor VWAP. That's crazy. But SPY basically just bounces off the year to date VWAP. Right there. The SPY just pushes into the year-to-date VWAP and bounces right off of it. QQQ actually gets a little bit under it. That's a little surprising. I didn't see that in the day when I was kind of doing this little test, but that's kind of surprising. Maybe a little interesting point over there to keep an eye on. But you know what? We can actually kind of throw in a anchor VWAP right there and color it a little bit different, maybe. Year to date. So the market clearly pulling back quite a bit, getting under that beautiful consolidation for a while that the QQQ and the SPY has been holding. We broke that low not too long ago. We held it yesterday beautifully. A nice little 2-bar play on the daily pattern. That's a beautiful pattern right there on the 1-minute chart, 2-minute chart to kind of enter into momentum trades. But if you're looking for momentum trades on the daily pattern, you can kind of use that same idea. The 2-bar, each low is the exact same low, and the 3rd bar is the breakout candle. You take the breakout with your stop at the high over here, and you're getting now what looks to be some sort of distribution into the market. You know, shares being really sold off, and they're being aggressive. Buyers are being scared, and buyers are staying away with the whole interest rate fears that are coming into the market. Also with Powell from him being on the microphone yesterday with the whole inflation numbers not really looking too good. Let me stretch my leg out a little bit. With the inflation numbers not really looking too good overall, we're waiting to see if QQQ and the S&P 500 continue their descent to the downside and give us some opportunities for shorts over here, or do they relieve themselves a little bit and bounce back? Does that take AMD back to the upside? Does that take ARM back to the upside? Does that take Nvidia back up and continue to hold this last week's low area? So very important levels. So let me just quickly put in this last week's low that we're watching on Nvidia, and also you can see how this should be the 50-period EMA. The 50-period EMA right at $820 on the daily chart. But we are looking at last week's low, which is $830. If Nvidia can get under 830 with the market cracking down, that opens up a lot of room for the downside, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to be very, very interested on that trade. So watching Nvidia there. We're gonna go to ARM real quick. You can see how ARM has been holding this area for quite some time now, and finally breaking that range will open up what will be hopefully a failure to follow through opportunities for us to get short on. So anytime ARM kind of pops up, failure to go through the pre-market highs, failure to go through yesterday's close, failure to go through yesterday's high, failure to go above yesterday's low in case it opens below yesterday's low. So all these opportunities, failure to follow through to the upside, we'll be looking for an opportunity to take the stock back to the downside. ARM has made an insane amount of run up with the whole AI craziness after its IPO. Maybe we see some normalcy, some reality, some shorts now coming into play, some buyers taking profits. Anyone who bought in this range are going to take for a loss. Anyone who bought in this range might think about taking some profits. So multiple reasons for ARM to maybe come down, but the main reason I think was ARM is having a dilution event. They're offering more event, if I remember, offering more shares or something. If I'm wrong on that, then it's just possibly just ASML that drags down all chip stocks with it. Apparently Micron dragged down too. Ooh, Micron getting under the earnings anchored VWAP and actually breaking under last week's low too. So Micron pulling back over here, but I'm more interested in AMD, ARM, and Nvidia for the chip sector. We already have TSM for the earnings play tomorrow, so that's going to be a big catalyst right off the open in the pre-market. So we will be watching what these stocks do. And ASML kind of did bad on their earnings move. They dropped down 7%. So basically looks like ARM and AMD getting slaughterfested off of that move. And I told you that, right? I warned you, watch what ASML does, because the stock will give you some sort of a sympathy leech on other positions. Going down my watch list over here, we were at TSM. So pulling back to TSM, let's see what levels. I guess I want to wait for pre-market to show me what the stock really does for me to be ready, and then I'll put some levels in my watch list there. DHI breaking under last week's low and kind of creating a beautiful 2-bar pattern on the last 2 days over here. So waiting to see if DHI can break back into last week's area, or are we just going to continue dropping to the downside? The stock looks like it has some beautiful ranges, at which point if they break, we could really see some action on this stock. So waiting to see if we do push down into 138, 139, do we get under it? Do we hold it? What opportunities show up in this area? What opportunities show up in this little consolidation before we broke down going into the earnings move? So there's some absolute amazing levels on the stock that we can play off of, and I will be looking forward to see what happens. You got to remember though, it's a boomer stock, low volume, high price, spread's gonna be ugly. It's also not going to move like a momentum position. It's not gonna move the way UAL did. It's not gonna go crazy. Wait for the pops, wait for the dips if you want to go long, wait for the pops if you want to go short, and just time yourself the right way. It'll just help you better too. It'll be easier for you to hold the trade if you are right, and when you're wrong, you don't take that much of a damage, because most likely if you're waiting for the pops to get short into, your stop's not that far out from where you enter. If you're waiting for the dips to get into, your stop's not that far from where you enter. So you got to make sure what's going on over there. I hear he doesn't sleep much. Are you talking about me? True Social closed up 15%. Trump does sleep in the courtroom. DJT was up in the morning. Ah, you're talking about DJT. You guys are trolls. DJT was up in the morning. Yeah, I hear he doesn't sleep much. Wow. Trolls. I do remember DJT being up today. I was watching DJT right off the open, and very, very regret of a trade today, because that long... what the fuck is going on here? Because that long... What's that green line, dude? Because that long, I keep having to repeat myself, right off of 23 was insane. It held 23. If we go to the 1 minute chart, you can see how it holds 23 for like 5-6 minutes in a row, right? Holds that 23 cleanly, breaks out, pulls back into today's VWAP, gives you an opportunity to get long right there. I didn't pull it. You had an opportunity to get long here. I didn't pull it, and missed out on a monster trade opportunity right into almost $29-30. But that area is important, right? We're glad that the stock pulled back into 29. We're glad that it pulled back into 30 area, because this area for us to short could be some opportunity. You got to remember though, DJT has been down about 70% from its high, from its 52-week high. Not its all-time high, but it's also not DJT back then. It was DWAC, right? DJT is now down 75% from its highs. So it'll be crazy to expect more downside on this position. It'll be crazy. You got to remember the campaign's not that long out. November's gonna come by in a flash. So the campaign session is not going to be that far out. The election's not that far out. And I think we will see the stock going a little while during an election, obviously. So be careful to see what happens with DJT. But yeah, today was a very missed opportunity. And you guys know how much I love DJT for a trade. So I'll be looking to see if DJT can pull into $30, $29 for some sort of a short there. If it goes through 29, I'll wait around 32. And if it goes through that, then boy, oh boy, there's no more shorts. You just got to wait to see what happens later on if you want to really hunt for those short opportunities. Maybe more short squeezes coming into play on DJT. As for the support, you got the beautiful 2-bar coming into play right now, right into that $22.50, $22 or so. So waiting to see, sorry, $22.50 to $23 on DJT. If that area can hold, then I think you can continue to look for that longs on any sort of dips in those prices on DJT. So watching how this stock trades going forward. Another stock that's in the kind of crazy realm, DXYZ. Sadly, DXYZ is talking about dilution, share offering, if I remember correctly. So share offering or something along those lines. So DXYZ not looking so good anymore, is it, boys? So we'll see what happens. They're trying to raise money, and they might use that money to put it back into more investments. It might be a good news, it might be a bad news. We don't know. Overall, the only thing I can tell you is the stock is down 32%, or should I say the ETF is down 32% overall now on the day. And this little last week's low could just break and give you a beautiful short opportunity right back into what was the IPO price around $8 to $10. So watching how the stock trades, you can see how that 29 to 28.75 just stands out. It's almost just in your face, but the stock's down 30% today. 30% is you know, quite a bit. It will be on SSR tomorrow. The shorts might cost you quite a bit of money to borrow. You're not going to be able to short the stock without borrowing shorts. So you're gonna have to be hunting for that. The price might be ridiculous. We'll see what happens. The stock's ATR is around $18.70. So if we do break this, I mean, that is almost right back into $10. So it will be crazy to see what happens for DXYZ under 29. If 29 holds, you know what to do. You know what to do. But that's DJT, that's DXYZ. Those are the only two crazy stocks really that we have for tomorrow. Coming back to the earnings board that we were looking at, the stock that I, you know, just was so wrong on, did not expect this to happen at all. But now let's see, how can we play with this answer? How can we play with this move? Do we have opportunities tomorrow on any sort of pullbacks? I would love to see a pullback into this area and actually hold. Today's VWAP is actually around $47.33. So if we pull back into today's VWAP and bounce off of that, that would be amazing. The idea behind today's VWAP is, if you got this much amount of buying today and we pull back to today's VWAP, you want to see how the person or the algorithm or whatever who created this candle, how will they react when their average price comes into play, right? So I want to see how the stock reacts on the move back over here into $47 or so. If we can hold $47, I think we got some more opportunities to the long side for sure. Currently, the earnings anchor VWAP is just under 47. It's at 46.70. Today's VWAP is at 47, so you can use that whole range. It's always a little bit of a wiggle room. The wiggle room is because the data package on TradingView is not 100% real. Even if you pay for the data packages on TradingView, you're not getting the 100% data, sadly. So based on that, the anchor VWAPs will always have to not be a 100% level. It's going to vary a little bit. It's going to, you know, you got to give it a little bit of a range. So $46.70 to $47. You can even say all the way up to $46.70 to maybe $47.10, $47.20 area. You're watching how the stock behaves in this zone on any sort of pullback. Do we hold and bounce? Do we hold and bounce for an opportunity to go test today's high? Or does it open above today's high and it looks like it wants to absolutely burn the shorts and just continue rising to the north side? So more opportunities to the upside, at which point, you know, obviously punching along through here will be a little hard for me. I'll be looking to see if their stock can stall out into $50, and if it doesn't stall out into $50 and continue goes up, then I'll look to see if any pullbacks can give us some long. Today, sadly, just no pullback into that 45. I wanted that pullback into 45, a little bit of a hold of it. But I guess that trade would have just been too easy, right? That trade would have just been way too easy. You could have just taken this day's high breakout, a beautiful bull flag breakout over here, and that gives you a monster move. It even gives you almost a measured move target. So if that's the range high, there you go. A measured move target. From today's low to that range high, you took the breakout of that range high, of the bull flag, whatever you want to call it, and your target was literally to the penny the range that you took the breakout of. So monster opportunity on UAL if you took that breakout. Where's my notes? Now I know what stock I'm gonna write up today. Every day, write up a stock. Write up at least one stock. I think today I'm actually going to have to write up 2 or 3 positions. I'm going to have to write up UAL. Then let's do new. Open UAL in a new tab. Then I want to do ARM. And then I want to do another one. I want to do... Should I do Bitcoin IBIT? I'll think about it. I want to do ARM and I want to do UAL for sure. The Bitcoin trade was good, but it wasn't my trade. It was a trade that my manager gave to me, and I didn't really trade it well, nor did I really like it as much as he liked it. So I'm not going to write up that position. So we're going to textbook UAL today, and we're going to textbook ARM today off stream. I'm not going to waste your time with it. But the importance of textbooking trades is to this exactly. The next time the trade shows up, you'll be able to catch it. You won't miss it. You won't complain about missing it. And even if you do miss it, playbook it again, playbook it again, playbook it again. Do it as many times as it's required for you to be able to actually pull it off. Pull it off to the point where you go, oh my God, I remember. This is exactly like that, that, and that, and that. I see it. I'm going to trade it, and I'm going to smash this big. Right? So write up the positions so you have a nice little memory bank of it, and do it in a tool like Notion. Do it in a tool like Evernote where you can tag the stocks, tag the names for the tickers, and anytime you remember it, you just kind of quickly pull it up in your search box. You'll see all the times you wrote up it, and it'll show you exactly what you did over there and everything. All that fun stuff. All that fun stuff. Textbook trade UAL. Yeah. Textbook breakout of a bull flag. Monster. The opening range breakout test strategy that I keep back testing, that you guys maybe have heard about quite a bit, that one got stopped out at 30% of the ATR today and was not able to capitalize on this big move. That was sad. I know I'm tired and Pratt is reading the comments backwards, then he wonders why there's no context. Buddy, because I'm busy. I never wonder why there's no context. I know I'm reading the chat, older chat first, because I'm trying to, you know, scroll from top to bottom. Trying to scroll from top to bottom, making sure I don't leave anyone out. Making sure I don't leave anyone out. You know, I'm looking to see right now. I'm in a bad mood. I'm trolling anyone who cares to engage. TV ain't good. Bro, go watch Fallout. Go watch Fallout or something. Go jerk off. Go jerk off. You always wonder what the context is. I don't wonder. I'm thinking back. I'm trying to jog back my memory as to what it is that I'm talking about back when that message was posted. But I usually can't remember it. So it feels like maybe I'm wondering what the context is, okay? So screw you. Screw you guys. Screw you guys. I'm going home. UAL, very important to me tomorrow to see how this position trades. Very important. So we'll see what happens with this one. Alcoa looks like a decent trade tomorrow. TSM looks like a decent trade tomorrow. AMD and ARM, I can't stop talking about these two positions. Big sell-off. Looking for any sort of pullback into this last week's high of 160 area and reject that area for us to continue riding that downside. ARM, you know, this is a pretty big sell-off. I would not expect, you know, a candle to look like this tomorrow. That would be insane. So I'm expecting a candle to be something like this, maybe a candle to look something like this tomorrow, at which point, you know, there's not really a short, maybe a little bit of a relief long for us to ride all the way back into today's high, or maybe halfway through today's high, or maybe you just wait for that pop to come in and you get short into if you believe in the short, whatever the trade idea is. But like I said, I'm looking for that failure to follow through. Show me a pop in the pre-market and give me a failure to follow through in the pre-market for me to get short into and then ride you down. Kind of like what I did with DJT on day 2 right here, right? DJT on day 2. Let's go to the 5-minute chart maybe. Right here. So DJT, this was day 1 where it announced share offering and it plummeted to the downside. This was day 2. It popped up in pre-market a little bit, and even articles came out about DJT, how it was up 2%, 1%, 1.5% in the pre-market. But right here, the pre-market low, you can see how the stock opens, pushes into yesterday's VWAP, gets stuff from yesterday's VWAP right away, not even able to push into the pre-market high, managing to now kind of break under the low of the pre-market over here where some longs could be into. So I took that short right there and kind of rode it into somewhere right into this area. Didn't really manage to capture the whole move, but rode into right there. So looking for some sort of this type of action tomorrow on ARM, on AMD, and NVIDIA. We're looking for that just breakout run through to the downside, if the market can absolutely break for us also. If the market can die for us, Nvidia should join the party. But that being said, last time the market went down, Nvidia rallied and kept the market alive. So that's also very possible. That's also very possible. I'm late for dinner. Don't eat dinner, dude. Don't eat dinner. It's that simple. You know, what's more important? Hanging out with your boy or eating dinner? What's more important? Be realistic. You can eat dinner after I go offline. After I'm done hanging out. But, you know, whatever. I gotta go sit with my wife and my kids and eat dinner. Wah. I get it. Whatever. Tron Anon. What's up, brother? How you doing? Hopefully you had a wonderful Wednesday. Wonderful Wednesday. He's reading it again. He's doing it again. No, I'm not. Shut up. Shut up. All right. And that's pretty much the watch list for tomorrow. I mean, yeah, you could talk about Apple. You can talk about Amazon, Google, Meta, and all that fun stuff. Meta pulling right into that fun level of the earnings anchored VWAP finally after a long time now, and kind of testing that area, seeing the buyers still there or not. If we can break under that, maybe Meta could open up some downside. But I really only care about the stocks that I just mentioned not too long ago. Bitcoin is a little bit of an important sector, so maybe you want to keep an eye on Coinbase and IBIT. Coinbase actually giving you a 2-bar play perfectly. Look at that beautiful 2-bar play. If Coinbase gets under 206, goodbye Coinbase. But for that, you might need Bitcoin really to plummet to the downside too. So watching how Coinbase reacts into this double bar low. If we can take out that low, I think we're going to push right into 180, 190s or so on. So watching how Coinbase can give us a trade through 206 and through 200 area. Mara, Riot, not really something that I care about to trade, because right now we have ETFs, direct ETFs that do way more volume and actually track Bitcoin perfectly. Also remember, Bitcoin halving is coming up. It's between Friday to next Monday, where 6 million or so Bitcoins will cut down to the value of 3 million, maybe billion, 3 million Bitcoins, not billion. There's only 27 million Bitcoins. Maybe, is it billion? I thought it was 27 million, right? It's gotta be 27 million. All right. So there's only 27 million in Bitcoin, and you know, 6 million of the mined Bitcoin is now going to get to 3 million mined. So the miners are going to be probably affected by that. The demand for Bitcoin still there. We're still getting articles on news wires every single day where analysts are expecting Bitcoin to go to 100K in 2 years, 200K in 3 years. Kathy Wood, you know, I don't know what drug she's smoking, but she thinks it's always going to keep on riding to the upside. So not really sure what happens. Not really sure what happens on Bitcoin at the moment, but the halving event's very important, obviously. Very important. Today was a little scare. It looked like we're going to break down and really die down over there, but we held back. We held the support. The exact same low on Bitcoin. Look at that. That's almost that same 59,500 area where Bitcoin bounced off of and IBIT bounced off of too. So we're looking to see if IBIT can get under this 33.80 low and really give us a short. For that, you need Bitcoin to really move, right? We want Bitcoin to do something fun. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote for tomorrow's watch list. I need to color IBIT in orange. So anything in orange is high priority for me tomorrow. High priority. I will most likely be shuffling throughout the day through these positions to see what they are doing, how are they moving, and so on. And I'm just going to quickly move up anything with orange to the higher area. I've never done this before. I should probably do this more, because then I'm not stuck there doing this in the middle of the day looking for my high priority stocks and so on. So let me just quickly do this. These are my high priority trades. And then my low priority trades, the ones that, you know, maybe if they give me a play, they give me a play. If they don't, whatever. Don't really care about it. So watching these ones, hoping that we will be able to make some good bank on the orange trades over here. These ones obviously report earnings tomorrow pre-market, so these could change from well, LVS reported today after hours, but DHI reports earnings tomorrow pre-market. We'll see if it upgrades itself from an orange, straight a blue to an orange, which is a medium tier priority to a higher tier priority. That's the only difference in my color scheme over there. Besides that, that is the report. Now let's go take a look at the economic calendar for tomorrow. Do we have any events that can move the market? Shake, shake, shake. So we'll see if there is. Continuous jobless claims coming out at 8:30 a.m. Philly manufacturing number also coming out at 8:30 a.m. along with a bunch of other Philly numbers. So watch out for that. Some of them are 3 stars, some of them are 2 stars, some of them are 1 stars. But overall, anything with 3 stars or 2-star events are highly important levels or highly important numbers or highly important economic calendar events for the market. You could see the market making a little bit of a move off of this time period, so make sure that you're being careful. If you're in a trade at 8:30 on the futures and the pre-market, you might want to watch to see how these numbers come out and how the market reacts to these numbers. Along with 8:30, we do have 9:15 where both the Fed members Williams and Bowman will be on the microphone, so that's going to be annoying. That's right into the open. Hopefully they don't talk about the market and they're just talking about their own random nonsense, hopefully, but we'll see what happens. Existing home sales coming out at 10 o'clock, a 3-star event over there. Bostic on the microphone at 11 o'clock. We got 2 bond events which are almost nothing burger. We got a 5-year tips auction, and we got a Fed balance sheet going into the close. So quite a bit of events. The main events, however, seem to be at 8:30, 9:15, and at 10 o'clock. So we'll see how the market moves around this time tomorrow, and if it can continue to sell off for us to ride the ship to the downside even more. It looks like bear season's here. The bears are striking the markets down at the moment. The buyers are AFK. The buyers are on vacation already, taking their summer vacation and going to, I don't know, on a Carnival cruise line or something. So missing buyers, AFK buyers, is sadly the story for the market at the moment. Why don't we stop the music here and go to our next session of the stream today, which is the video session, the learning session, the movie session. This is a quick little video in 15 minutes to learn about 2 patterns, reversal patterns, the bounce and the full trend reversal. Basically 2 good setups, 2 good playbooks that you could possibly add to your own arsenal. So let's go find out how we can learn from this video. Shout out to Chris. I'm not even gonna bother trying to say his last name. I am Lanzilatoli. Maybe I said it probably. I think I said it right. Lanzilatoli. Hey, that was pretty easy. Lanzilatoli. So Chris, from Investors Underground, we've seen him on YouTube before. He's the guy with that fancy background that you guys, love and make fun of for no reason. Poor guy gets bullied by you guys. I don't know why you guys bully everybody, man. My chat is just absolute bullies. But movie time. Let's get started. Watch this amazing video.
Take a look at 2 similar
Pause. Mute the speakers.
trading patterns. They're both reversal patterns.
It's this video. Oh, there you go. I was going to say this video is pretty low.
That have to do with buying a stock after it's been sold off and it bounces. Now, the first one of these. Hi, this is Chris with Investors Underground.
Hi, I'm Brad.
In today's video, we're going to take a look at 2 similar trading patterns.
Okay.
They're both reversal patterns that have to do with buying a stock after it's been sold off and it bounces. Now, the first one of these is called a bounce trade, and this is a short-term bounce after a stock has dropped.
The right side of the V.
The second is a full trend reversal trade, and that's more of a swing trade or something done on a longer time frame. In this video, we're going to explore both of these patterns, show you what to look for, what to avoid, where to set your stop, where to potentially take profits, and several other things too. So before we begin, we need to define what a bounce trade and what a trend reversal trade is. So a bounce trade is a short-term trade that has to do with buying a stock after a sharp sell-off, and then we see signs of a reversal or signs of a bounce. Now, this is key that we don't want to anticipate the bounce, but we want to wait for confirmation of a bounce and then participate in the snapback.
Part of having to look at the monitor like this,
is
chat.
because after a stock has been sold off
the
for
monitor
several
goes
days
up now.
or several weeks, many times the positioning becomes so bearish that the first time it starts to actually tick up, it has an
Short-term
outsized
trade,
move to
entry
the
occurs
upside
after the sell-off.
because
Do not
of short
anticipate the
positioning
sell-off
and
bottom.
other positioning.
Participate after
So
the
even
signs
though
of
that
strength.
this bounce
Works
trade might
due to
not last,
participation
and it might
position.
be a quick bounce and then it might stall and then start to fade back off to the downside, we can still capitalize on that bounce if it is positioned enough to be a dramatic bounce. The second setup that we're going to look at is a trend reversal trade. And that is a stock that has been sold off for several months or even up to a year based on certain bearish variables. And then when those variables change and the stock starts to make higher lows and possibly reverses the entire downtrend into a new uptrend. We're going to take a look at examples and show you both of these reversal trades.
Yes, sir. Let me see
Before
them.
we begin our discussion, I need to remind you that I'm not a financial advisor, and these are not buy or sell
I
recommendations.
hate that we all
This
have
is
to
for
do this,
informational
man.
and educational purposes only. So if we want to participate in either of these types of reversal patterns, there's one thing that we need to remember, and that is we need to stick to rules. Trend reversal trades can be tricky and risky if they are not done in a safe way that follows rules. One of these first rules is that a stock is never gone too low. And what that means is that even if we see a stock that has been down significantly, even over weeks, months, days, it doesn't really matter. It can always go lower under the right circumstances. We don't want to anticipate these reversals because we could get caught in what's called a falling knife, or a stock that just keeps on dropping and dropping, taking anyone who tries to do a bounce trade or a trend reversal trade down with it. What we want to do is look for a clear sign that the trend is turning or reversing, and we want to join that trend in anticipation of participating in the bounce or the trend reversal. Another rule is that we need a fixed stop loss on this kind of trade. This can either be a hard stop or a mental stop, but it needs to be a firm level that once it breaks, we are out. We are not going to risk getting dragged down with a stock that is not ready to bounce.
You don't have a stop. You don't have a trade.
Another key rule to remember is that a little bit too late of an entry is better than a little bit too early of an entry with reversal trades. Again, we're not trying to anticipate the turn. We're trying to observe the turn and then join that trend higher. So the first example that we have for a bounce trade is the stock MARA. This is a Bitcoin mining stock, and it usually closely follows the price of Bitcoin. So what we've seen over the last couple of months is a significant run up higher in Bitcoin. And so a lot of the mining stocks have followed because their profits are based on the price that Bitcoin trades at, and that determines their profit margins. So you can see on this monthly chart that the stock has run up from about that $10 mark all the way up to the $30 mark. And then we had the news with the Bitcoin ETF getting approved, and then the stock started to consolidate, and then it started to form a downtrend. And so this really sold off hard after that news came out, and it made a multi-day leg lower. So one of the first things that we want to look for when we're looking at a trend reversal trade or a stock that could significantly bounce is we want a stock that's been sold off heavily, not just a stock that's been sold off a couple of percentage points, but a stock that has been beaten down and position has gotten more and more bearish over the days. And so if you look at MARA, you can see that it dropped from that 28 level all the way down to about 1460, 1450. And so what we can see is there's a support line on this chart at that 1460 level. And you can see that that has been a historical and significant point of support for this stock over the last month. And so as we're looking at a stock that has been trending downwards, getting sold off, and the positioning is getting more and more bearish, is we want to anticipate what level it could potentially start to bounce at. So we don't want to anticipate the bounce itself, but we want to anticipate what areas to look for a potential sign of a reversal or a bounce trade. So in this case, it is that 1460 level. And again, these levels don't need to be exactly precise. Could have been 1450, 1430, anywhere within a 20 or 30 cent range is okay. Now here's the intraday view of MARA on the day that we decided to try a bounce trade on it. So you can see that that 1460
Let me
level
guess,
is
you got long somewhere here with the stop there.
And so
right?
as the
Makes
stock
sense.
is selling off up to 10%
you wait for it to come in. Let it show you that there's buyers here.
Now again, this doesn't
you
have
don't
to be super
need
precise,
to
so
blindly enter on the way down when the stock is plummeting. There's a chance that it doesn't hold this area and goes down to, like you said, 1450, 1430, 1440, and then it goes up over here. Maybe it wants to burn the stops, right? Burn the stops, but the buyers kind of maybe stepped in before the stop burn even came into play, and the buyers were stronger. The imbalance of the buyers was way higher than the imbalance of the sellers on the way down. So all of that combined, you get the beautiful move that you were looking for. But oftentimes people just kind of have that order sitting right here or right here, and then they put their stop right here on the way down. They're on the wrong side of the V, and they put their stop under 1460. I don't blame them, right? It could have been the right stop, but sometimes you get tripped by it, it gets triggered, and you complain about, oh, I got stop ran, I got stop ran. Well, yeah, because you're an idiot, because you put the stop exactly a penny under the previous level where the stock didn't even test into. You did not have an actionable stop on the way down, but on the way up over here, you wait for the buyers to come in. The move was drastical. You can even have drawn a trend line. The trend line probably comes, why am I moving my whole body like I'm actually drawing the trend line myself? Okay, anyways, if you draw the trend line, it probably comes somewhere like that. Maybe you can get long on the break of the trend line. You could use a couple other indicators if you want, such as, you know, like a fair value gap or a MACD indicator or something that can tell you. Let me take this goddamn thing out of my mouth. Something that can tell you that we are done with the original move and now we're kind of stalling out. This gives you an opportunity to look for that long. The breakout of that trend is perfect. If you draw that line right there, nice little breakout of the trend, and you can see how volume comes in on the break of the trend, and we're getting a beautiful move. Nice little volume candle to take on the break of the trend too over there. Awesome. Get long, your stop, your risk, and your reward.
A little bit lower, or might say a little bit above it, but we knew that it was a key area to pay attention to for signs of a possible reversal.
Hi, Brad. Just checking in to see what's going on. I smashed the like. Thank you, John. Yes, sir. Everybody, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Help your boy TraderPrad out.
Reverse. And since that is a key variable for MARA, we could look for not only the support to hold, but also for the trend to potentially reverse because Bitcoin was reversing. And so what we were looking for was the first signs of the trend to turn from a downtrend into an uptrend. And so what you see if you look at this V-shaped pattern on the chart is on the left-hand side of the V, you'll see lower highs, consolidation, and then lower lows. And this is a classic sign of a reversal pattern possibly taking shape for a bounce. And so we have a sharp sell-off until it ends in what's called a capitulation. And a capitulation is actually a term that means a formal surrender. So you can think about it as longs formally surrendering from the stock. So anyone who was trading it or anyone who was bullish on it has finally stopped out. And so at the same time that that is happening, you usually have people who are bearish adding to their positions. And so that means that at the exact same time that there are less longs in there, there are more shorts in there. And that means that the stock is vulnerable to a bounce as those shorts get offsides and the positioning has to unwind, and that causes a bounce. And so if you look at the right side of this V shape now, you can see that the stock starts to base and it starts to make higher lows, and the trend continues and it ramps above VWAP. So I'm going to pull up the next screen that will show trend lines that can help us to identify where this turn occurred and where we could potentially set our stop loss. And so really the signs that we're looking for a bounce trade like this is a stock that has been sold off more than normal. It has extended range to the downside.
And you got a breakout on that too. He's only
using
this trend. He's not using the whole day's trend from the open. I understand that. I would like to use the whole day's trend instead. This is on the 19th of January 2024. Yikes, I'm not going that far back just to pull this goddamn
into a support level, while shorts are offside, results in a bounce more often than not. And so we can use these trend levels or these trend lines to keep us on track. On the left side of the V, we can see that the resistance is holding underneath that trend line. And on the right side of that V, we can see the stock basing and holding above that trend line. But if the stock were to stall out or to break that trend, then we could consider either raising our stop or locking in our profits and moving on to another opportunity. So the signs that we have confirmation of a turn in place is that the left side of the V, that trend line is now broken as the stock ramps up a little bit. And now we draw that right side of the V where the support now holds the new trend line, and we can base our entrance off of that area where those areas cross at that 1480 level, and we can set our stop just below that support at 1460. And so these are the signs to look for in this particular trade, where we are risking 20 cents in order to make a potential $1.20 per share, or a 6-to-1 reward to risk on a 50% or higher
BTC halving.
So now let's take a look at a full trend reversal trade. And a great example of this is the stock Meta, which went through a very sharp and long drawdown, and then it made a huge reversal once the management signaled key changes to the company. And so we can see a similar shape of that V on the left side downtrending and on the right side uptrending. And so while with a bounce trade, we're looking for a one-day event or a couple hours or even a few minutes, it's usually more of a swing pattern that can help traders to make a long-term bet on a company that is trending in their direction. And so let's take the same concept of using those trend lines for a bounce trade and let's apply them to a full reversal trade off the lows. So we can see the same concept at work, where on the left side of that V, you see the stock making lower highs and lower lows.
How come these guys always show the examples that work perfectly?
What you see is higher highs and higher lows.
Isn't that how education works?
The same area where we would potentially enter on a bounce trade is similar to the area that we would potentially enter on a full reversal trade. If you look at where those trend lines intersect and make an X, that is roughly the area where I would be interested in potentially making a long bet on a company. And so what you want to do is have a fixed area where you can potentially get in, and then a fixed stop, which is somewhere tightly under that X. And so it could potentially be at that $100 mark, or it could be much tighter depending on the trader's preference. So sometimes people use low of day as their stop out point, and some people might give it a wider stop if they're making a longer term bet and they're willing to take that increased risk. And so again, what we want to do is if we are risking a certain amount on our position, then we want to make sure that the reward is worth that risk. So if a full trend reversal plays out perfectly, we should have some kind of symmetrical move from the downside or the downtrend to the upside over time. Now, of course, this doesn't always happen, and we have to make sure that we are using our trend lines, our stops, and taking our overall situation into account. But in a perfect world, we can see that this example would have worked beautifully with two trend lines and using those as our guides to enter, to potentially stop out if we needed to, and then to hold a trend and ride it for a long period of time as the stock recovered. So full reversal trends are a bit different than bounce trades in a few ways. The key variables may differ for a full reversal trend. And so with a company where you're taking fundamentals into account, such as Meta, you need to look at what were the driving reasons why the stock was selling off in the first place. And it was a combination of the market in general was downtrending, but also the company had just pivoted from its old business to a new business, which did not have much free cash flow and did not have very bright prospects. And the market hammered them for that.
I guess that's
and so
a little bit more like understanding the catalyst, understanding the news, understanding
once management made that announcement and combined with the technicals and the trend lines, that was a sign that the trend was fully reversing and a trader or swing trader could potentially try to participate in a long trade.
Tightly.
So we've taken a look at two successful trades. One is a bounce trade.
No, you should have a defined stop.
META.
You should have a defined stop. There's no reason to get into a trade if you don't have, like, if it's going up, right? It's going up, it's going up, it's going up. You don't start shorting on these up candles. After it sells off, pulls back, and you're seeing it reject in the, at least like the halfway of this red candle, you're seeing it not able to go make higher lows, higher highs anymore, right? It's stalling off. This is somewhere that you look to get into the short with the stop right there. Instead of getting short on the pop up because you're going, this is way too overvalued. The stock's ATR is only 50 cents and it's going up $7. This doesn't make sense. I'm an analyst and I know better than the market. I'm going to go short. That's what a lot of people, you know, they're not physically saying I'm better than the market, I'm going to go short. They might say though, however, this is stupid. This is overvalued. This doesn't make sense. I'm going to try a short here. Them saying they're going to try a short here comes from the whole idiocy that they think they're better than the market. They might not physically know that they're thinking that like that, but they think they're better than the market. So it doesn't make sense to fight this. Don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend. Wait for the buying to come in or selling to come in and then play with it, right? Then play with the short. Same idea over here for here, but instead, you know, you possibly get short somewhere in this area with your stop over there. On the way down, you kind of get happy, but then that sell-off gets bought right back up and we start holding the same area where you went short into. That might be a reason for you to close the trade because that sell-off should not have gotten bought right back up. That sell-off should have continued to get sold off like it did over here. But that rollover got bought right back up and they look like they wanted to trap more shorts. They are not done trapping shorts yet. They're going to trap more shorts. So they squeeze it a little bit more. They squeeze it a little bit more. They squeeze it a little bit more. And they get that juice. Finally, once they get all the juice that they wanted to, they squeeze the shit out of the stock to the upside. And then they start hitting that sell button. And you can see where right over here where it actually confirms that the game is over now. The game is over. If this sell-off got bought right back up and we went right back into this range, that would be a lot of shorts who got short in this area who are going to punch out of their trade. And if the shorts are punching out of their trade, the stock starts going back up here. That's what happened in this move, right? Once the stock did this little curl, whoever was short in these areas, they said, screw this stock is going to trap me. I'm not going to lose, you know, $17 per share. I'm going to get out and I'm going to come back in later. And the smart traders build into these areas. So you don't have to build in on the way up. Wait for the move to come in and have a defined stop. Not that the stop should fit tightly or like sarcastic comments like that. Have a defined reason to get out. If you're entering on the way up over here, you don't have a defined reason to get out. You're making up reasons to get out. Maybe you have a trend line all the way from Timbuktu that's coming in on a horizontal way at $15. But there is no guarantee that the stock has to reject 15 just because you have a trend line coming in across the way. There might be a chance that it does. Every time it does, you see me hitting this emote going Prastradamus, right? But it doesn't have to do that. But when it does, it makes you feel good about yourself and you really get to scale in on that trade because you have extra confidence now. You have extra confidence and the technicals are lining up with the intraday buying and selling, and that's where you play with.
Now we're going to take a look at a stock that you do not want to try this kind of pattern on. And so this stock, CHSN, was a China liquidation play. Certain stocks like CHSN are not appropriate for traders to use for either bounce trades or full trend reversal trades. And the reason for that is that China liquidation trades like this are companies where the insiders own 70 or 80% of the float. And what they do is they toy with the stock for several months and they bid it up and they trap shorts until there's eventually some kind of a short squeeze, and then the insiders dump all of their stock at once. And what happens with these China liquidation trades is that they can fall anywhere from 75 to 85% in a single day, and many times in just a few candles. So what happens is that once there's enough volume for the insiders insiders to try to dump their holdings, they will sell them off in giant clips, and that usually causes a halt down. And now what you do not want to do as a bounce trader or a trend reversal trader is try to buy a stock off the lows if it is at risk of halting down.
Well, here
so
you go,
with these
Swimmer.
trend liquidation
Here's
trades,
an
they are a
example
nightmare
that
for any kind of
doesn't
strategy
work
involving
perfectly,
bounce
and he
trades.
tells
So
you
we want to
exactly
avoid
when to
anything
not
very
go
risky. Stocks
do
are very
stupid
risky
shit
stuff.
like
We
this.
want to avoid.
Obviously, the small cap float, the low float game is completely different, right? You don't try to apply normal games to the small float games because their whole system, their whole job is to bring in the hype. So people like Razbot, knock Razbot, people like Razbot get tempted and they look for the longs for these squeezes. They get options, they get all that craziness, and they all get blown out. They all got blown out when the insider just wants to hammer that sell button and flush it to the downside.
And if you're not able to recognize these China liquidation trades, then I recommend you join a community like Investors Underground, where you have all the leaders in there keeping track of these types of trades and knowing what to avoid and what to participate in. So I hope that this video has been useful to you in both identifying and potentially learning how to trade both bounce trades like MARA and also full trend reversal trades like META. I invite you to check out Investors Underground, where you have some of the most experienced traders in the business all working together to help each other recognize setups like these and to help them trade them to the best of their ability. Look at the link in this description to explore the Investors Underground webpage. And I hope that you join us so that you can trade alongside me and others in the community. Thank you.
Man, that guy can talk fast. Yeah,
Hi, this is Chris with Investors Underground. In today's video,
I'm glad I put that on 1.75 because boy, that felt a little slow. Boy, oh boy, that felt a little slow. What'd you short here? PFE? Really? Pfizer? Palantir? That's a nice short. Okay. Plug Power. Why are you trading Plug Power and Snapchat? I guess that's a good long, but why are you trading Snapchat? There were so many better trades today. But hey, I'm not gonna knock on it. Good trades. Good trades. What does this man do for a living? Wrong answers only. What the? Yay and Young Lean at Disney World. No way. Or Disneyland, sorry, not Disney World. That's hilarious. Young Lean still makes music? Have you guys watched this video on this product? This product is so dog shit. And I knew it was dog shit before. This is where I actually trade. Club Penguin? Club Penguin. What in the world is that, broski? And he has more than one of those. Are those yogurt cups? Yo play. That's yogurt. Why is that yogurt cup upside down? Well, I guess it's not because the label is right side up. Jesus Christ, is that pee? Please tell me that's not piss. Please tell me that's not piss. Jesus Christ, buddy. Get some help. Get some milk. Gat! Alright, chess time, ladies and gentlemen, and then we call it a night. It's 11, or sorry, it's not 11. It's 9:20 p.m. Let's get some wins on chess. We're on a win streak. I think 2-day win streak now. Oh, not chicken place. What the fuck am I doing? Why did I type China? Why did I even type China? What's wrong with me? Chess time! Wide to move, chat. Bum bada bum 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 bum. All right, he can't move anywhere. Why? Why can't he can't move here though? He can't. That's right. Block to move. Wait, I wanted to go back to the last one though. Aww. Okay. White to move. White to move, white to move, white to move, white to move. Oh, okay, buddy. This is tricky. Do I just take this? Or do I bring this here? But if I bring that there, he just takes that. Or do I go here? If I go there, I got no defense. He could just kill me. Hint. I do move the queen. Ah. What? Ah. Okay, that makes sense. That made sense. So, okay. Okay, so you go here. You don't risk the queen dying. He moves over. Now you risk the queen dying. And then you bring this in. But he can... Oh, he can't go here. And he can't go anywhere else. Okay. But I guess that was like a little bit of a lucky situation. It's not like you actually forced him to trap him in this box, right? I'm not sure how the situation would actually play out in a real game. But maybe if you see it, you kind of recognize that, like, oh, I can do this, and trap him and then kind of make him go there. Yeah, that could work. 812 rating is my highest now. I thought I was hard stuck, but that's pretty good. But I am hard stuck. We're back to 800? No, we're not. I got a little happy there. Okay, 318. We can work it. We can work it. King's pawn, queen's pawn. Can do that too, buddy. I was gonna send this over here. Like, fuck you, you pussy. Alright. He's just gonna move his guy, and it's gonna be a waste of my fucking time anyways. I'm just gonna put him here. He's gonna do this if I go here. Alright, good lad. He tried to castle and he fucked up. He tried to castle and he fucked up. Grandmaster, baby! Grandmaster! Nah, I will beat me. He is Grandmaster now. You mean he will beat me? Does that count as a real win, chat? We'll play one more. That doesn't count as a real win. But we have a win on the day, so we don't really care about it. We're up 1 on the day now, so we could technically call it for the day here. But I want to play at least one real game. Doesn't matter if I win or lose. This guy's gonna abort the game, is he not? There we go. Brazil! King's pawn. What do you want to do? Knight? Alright, I'll go queen's pawn. Take me? I got this. If not, then I'll come back. What can I do with this? Nothing really, but I don't want to die here, so I might just move him Uno mas back. Come on, Bombaclaw, do something. What should I do here? What is he trying to aim for? That was the right move. Good job, Prad. Is this guy mentally okay? Like, we just traded for no reason 2 pieces? Are you okay? Guy's not mentally stable. Buddy, what is your goal? Okay, well, he's gonna take my rook no matter what now. But the question is, how do I trap him to the point where... You wanna trade? Clearly you love trading. Oh, I should have moved the queen here. Yeah, then he had defense and then I could have trapped him too. And now he dies. And now he dies. Well, he lives, but he just wiped out my whole backline with his 1 queen. Jesus Christ. Well played, dude. Think I lost this one. It's comebackable. That wins me the game, but I just need to set it up. I need to get this horse out of here. Need to move the queen down there. Oh, we got a call. Hello? Yeah. What? Are you watching me play chess? Stop watching me play chess! This guy wiped my whole backline out. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, listen. You're my older brother. You're my older brother. How about you teach me how to play chess instead of berating me on stream? How about you stop berating me on stream and teach me how to play chess properly, goddammit. This sucks. I'm gonna lose this game and you're making me embarrassed. You're getting me embarrassed in front of 7 people. Okay, get off the call. Goodbye. I lose this game. It's over. And now my brother's calling me and embarrassing me even more. Okay, we're gonna try another game here. We need 1 proper win per day, guys. 1 proper win per day. That's the only goal. That's the only goal. We gotta get back to 800. Nah, we need to do this. Here. Okay, my brother's watching. I gotta win. My brother's watching. I gotta win. Did your bro just make... No, I lost that game. That game was over. That game was over. There was no way I was winning that one. Okay. Two hours and 28 minutes to midnight. Yeah, we're gonna be here that long. Trust me. There you go, brother. What now? I make people rage quit. All right, we got our 8 points back. We got our 8 points back. We made 2 people rage quit today. We might have rage quit once. But we won 2 games. We lost 1 game. That's the only thing that matters, okay? That's the only thing that matters. My brother tried to embarrass me on stream, but he failed. But no, he's right. I suck at chess. I suck at chess. The goal is, though, the goal is to keep getting better. The goal is to keep trying, keep learning. I need to still do learning like actual openings. I don't know any of the openings. I've heard about the London opening. I've heard about the London opening, the Carl Khan opening, and so on. So I want to learn more about that. I need to watch more YouTube videos and so on. I will be doing it, but boy, oh boy, is it fun going in there, learning by yourself without actually using books and so on, right? Like going to war and learning from your own mistakes. I like it. It's fun. Every day you make new mistakes, you learn from it. Make new mistakes, kind of like trading. I enjoy it. But that was fun. My brother calling me and making fun of me for the moves I made was hilarious. Hopefully you guys had some fun on stream today. Learn about market first, right? You found some levels to play off of. Once again, important stocks for tomorrow. Alcoa, TSM, United Airlines, cryptocurrency basket, stocks that are reporting earnings tomorrow such as DHI. LVS reported today after hours, but that could give you some setups too. So watch for how these stocks move around tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow to talk about the most important earnings name of the week, which is Netflix. Netflix reports tomorrow after hours, so make sure you show up at 8 o'clock. We'll see how Netflix sets up possible trades over there on Netflix, maybe some sympathy on Netflix, on Disney, and so on. That's at 8 o'clock, Monday to Thursday, 8 o'clock, and Sunday, 6 p.m. I'll see you guys then. Have a good night. Good night, Shyla. Love you. Mwah. Love you, Shyla. Can't wait to see it on Saturday, Sunday, whenever you come. I can't wait to play with you then. But until then, guys, see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Have a good night. Have an even better trading session. I forgot to do one thing, which is play Dieter's outro music. So let's play that one in. And let's actually skip that beat a little bit because this beat's too damn long. We'll skip it a little bit. And it's my time to head out. Good night, guys. Ciao. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens.
8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.